Hi, students. Your first lecture today will be a very short one. I just want to talk to you about essay prompts. And what that is, a prompt is your assignment, basically. It's what you are prompted to write. I just want to break these down since this is your first college composition course and let you know to pay attention to the verb in your essay prompt. Remember, verbs are action words. So whatever that action word is in the prompt, in the direction, in the instruction, that's what you're being asked to do in this essay, and you need to make sure that that's what you're doing. Far too often, students will just summarize something or describe something, and they're not really doing what the prompt calls them to do. So I wanted to break this down for you. In an essay in college, you might be asked to describe something, or argue, or persuade, or give your position on something. You might be asked to compare and contrast two different things, or analyze something, or evaluate something. And there are more verbs that go here. These are just a few examples. Although you will summarize in your college essays, you will likely never be asked to only summarize something. So remember that. If you're summarizing something, you're taking someone else's work, their words, or the plot of a movie, or the plot of a book, and you're just retelling or rewording what happened in that book or that movie or what this person wrote. You're summarizing, you're paraphrasing, you're putting it into your own words, which is good. But essays call for something else aside from summarizing, and that's where those verbs come in. So you might be asked to describe something, in which case you'll give an account in words and include relevant characteristics, qualities, events. If we were going to describe this apple, if an essay actually asked us to describe this apple, we might describe how it looks, how it feels, how it, when you bite into it, how it tastes. Is it sweet, tart, what the texture's like? Is it crunchy or mushy? Um, its red appearance with some yellow streaks, whatever. Then we would be describing or giving an account in words the relevant characteristics of this apple. If we're asked to persuade someone to buy this apple, then we're basically causing the reader, or trying to cause the reader, to do something through reasoning or argument. We're saying, hey, buy this apple because it's tasty and red and shiny, and this is the best tasting apple you'll encounter all year. It's grown in Washington State, where they have produced the best apples in the United States, and it's crunchy and crisp, and you can hear it when you bite into it. This is the best apple there is. Okay, now we're persuading. We're not merely describing or summarizing. We're telling the audience or the reader why they should buy this particular apple. In an essay, you might be asked to compare and contrast, which in that case, you're indicating likenesses and differences. So if we were comparing and contrasting these two apples in an essay, we might write, well, they're both of a similar shape, kind of roundish, orbish. They're both fairly shiny, and then we would mark or write about how they're different. We would contrast them as well. So we would say one is red, one is green, one's grown in Washington, the other is grown in California, one is sweet, one is tart, etc. So in that case, we would be comparing and contrasting in addition to summarizing and describing, etc. If we're asked to analyze something, we're being asked to break it down into its different parts, to explain it and interpret it. So if we were going to analyze this apple, we might break it apart piece by piece and write about the stem and where it's grown and the type of soil that it grows best in, and then the skin of this apple, how it's different from others, and why it makes for a crisper bite. something like that. So if we're analyzing or asked to analyze in an essay, we're breaking it down, we're interpreting that information for the reader. And if we're asked to evaluate in an essay, that's a verb you might run across in one of your assignments. Look at the root word of evaluate. It's value. So you're giving value to something. In this case, an apple. You're being asked to review it or assess it. Basically grade the apple. That's what evaluate means. So that would call for some summary. You need to describe what the apple looks and tastes and feels like in your hand, etc. But you're also adhering to the essay prompt to evaluate. So you're saying, well, this is a great apple or an okay apple or a poor apple for whatever reasons. And then you give those reasons. And now you're evaluating. So just pay attention to essay prompts and the verbs or the action words in those prompts in particular. If you don't know what that word is, look it up, go to dictionary.com, look it up. Make sure that you're doing that in your essay. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, email me, kyle.smith@cisco.edu.